Hi everybody, so today is going to be a try-on review of the Tarte Maneater liquid eyeliner. Now I was really excited when I saw this launch on the Tarte website because my holy grail eyeliner of all time has always been the Kat Von D, and it's been the only one I found that has this particular brush tip. Now there's other ones that are kind of similar, like Shiseido makes one that's similar, has a brush tip, but it's a little bit different. And overall, this has been my favorite one I've ever tried. There's other really great other liquid liners out there, like the Stila liquid liner is great, but the problem I always had with that one is that it would dry out on me in like a month, and I'd always have to be repurchasing it. The Kat Von D lasts for a super long time. Like it lasts more than you're supposed to be using it for, which I think is 6 months or less. So the longevity of this product is great, and I love the brush tip. It's my favorite for creating winged eyeliner looks. So it's going to be a review of this product and a comparison to the tattoo liner from Kat Von D, because they both have a very similar looking brush tip. So if you're interested in seeing the differences and what I think about this product, then please keep on watching. So I've already applied my Kat Von D liquid eyeliner on this eye, and I did that so you guys will be able to see the difference between the Kat Von D liner and the Tarte Maneater liner. So if you look at both the liners, you can see that they have almost the exact same type of tip with a brush tip instead of a felt liner. If I line them up, starting at where the plastic applicator begins, I can see that the Kat Von D liner is a little bit longer lengthwise, and the Tarte Maneater is a little bit shorter. I would also say that the Kat Von D liner is a little bit, teeniest bit thicker than the Tarte one. The Tarte one looks a little bit finer, but I can hardly tell that difference. I can just see if I really stare at it closely. The Tarte liner is a little bit longer than the Kat Von D, just a little bit longer lengthwise, just like the actual packaging. So I went ahead and drew a line so you could see the pigmentation of both liners. The top line is the Kat Von D, and the bottom line is the Tarte Maneater. Now you can definitely see that the Kat Von D is not as pigmented as the Tarte one on the bottom here. I think it's definitely darker, it's more opaque, and it's just, you know, overall a more pigmented black liner. Now, the Kat Von D liner has 0.55 milliliters, and the Tarte eyeliner has 1 milliliter. So there's definitely more product in the Tarte than there is in the Kat Von D. So let's go ahead and put it on. So it definitely feels very smooth. It doesn't drag on the eye at all. Seems pretty pigmented so far. It's a little bit less stiff than the Kat Von D liner, which I'm not saying is a good or bad thing, I'm just noting it. I like how it's pigmented so far, and it's precise. It has a lot more give than the Kat Von D. Okay, so as you can see, the wing I did looks kind of not very good. And I feel like I don't want to blame it on the product, because obviously if you're very skilled at doing wing liner, it's not, you're going to be able to do it with anything no matter what. But I just feel like since this is a little bit like less stiff than the Kat Von D, like it's hard to get that precise tip on the end. Not impossible, but I'm just like not used to having to be so delicate while I'm using this product. Not when I did the line on the lid, but the line on the outer edge is just a little bit trickier for me to use to make that precise wing. I'm gonna keep messing with it to see if I can fix it. Okay, so I was able to mess with it a little bit more to get that edge a little bit more crisp and pointy instead of like just weird. To be honest, for winged liner, I'm preferring slightly the Kat Von D to the Tarte, but although they are very similar in looks, they definitely feel different on the eye. So I'm gonna put on mascara on this eye, and I'll be back with my final thoughts. Now, I obviously can tell the difference because I'm looking at it so close, but on the eyes, I don't think it's that big of a difference. You can see that this line is a little bit darker than this line, but it's not like so obvious. In terms of ease of putting it on the top lash line, just on the lid itself, I would say that the Tarte Maneater is a little bit easier than the Kat Von D to glide around the eye. But in order to apply it on the outer lash line to make a wing, it's more difficult to use the Tarte one than the Kat Von D. I feel that the Kat Von D brush applicator is more stiff, and this allows you to create a more crisp line that isn't kind of like flopping around, because this is a problem I'm having with this one and creating the line here because it bends too much, and it's just not stiff enough for me to create a good line. Now, I'm not saying that this is super stiff. And this is why I like the Kat Von D brush tip in the tattoo liner rather than her other eyeliner, which is a felt tip, because I feel like that's way too stiff and it's like harder for me to create a more fluid line. So it's kind of like the difficulty in me reviewing both of these, because I love this liner. I've been using it for years. It's really my absolute favorite, but the Tarte one is darker and it's easier to maneuver around the lid. But making a wing liner was a little bit more difficult for me in this one. Now, I don't think it would be difficult for everybody. I'm just saying that in comparison with these two, I prefer the Kat Von D for creating wing liner. I prefer the Tarte for using it on the lid and because it's darker. So that's pretty much the differences in my opinion. If I had to give the Tarte Maneater eyeliner a grade, I would probably give it an A- because of it being a little bit not stiff enough for me. But I still think it's a great product. I think that it did look really nice on my eye. And yeah, overall, I really do like it. If I had to pick what I was gonna repurchase, I probably would go with the Kat Von D just because I've been using this product for so long and it's really just worked for me. But I can't deny how much blacker this product is, and I just really love the packaging. It's very cute. I love this little kind of, animal print. It's very cute. So yeah, this is my review of these two liners. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions or comments or anything I can help you out with, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.